Pep Talk UK, Pro Beez once again. Remember, subscribe. And I'm delighted to be joined by Spencer, Fearon, aka The Knowledge. How you doing, bruv?
I'm good, man. Even better for speaking to you, Pro Beez. Let's run this one, man.
Hey, look, I need your immediate reaction to Joyce'S
Wait,
quote.
sorry. Who did I say was going to win the fight?
All right, Joyce's late. I'm sure I saw that somewhere.
Rest my case. Well, am I not The Knowledge? I never gave myself that name, but I'm claiming it today. I'm claiming it today, bro.
All right, look, what's your immediate reaction? I know you second guessed what the outcome would be, but in that dramatic fashion.
What dramatic fashion? It wasn't dramatic fashion. You know what I mean? The guy quit. Let's be real. He quit. He's a young man. He's been groomed all wrong. When you get a young man that is in the fight game, what has he done to prepare himself to go fight an Olympic silver medalist who should have won the gold? What have you done in all of your fights that you had? You know what I mean? The biggest name on your career was a very, very old what's his name? Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, yeah.
Kevin Johnson's so old, if he coughs, dust come out his mouth, he get asbestos. So who have you fought? And Kevin Johnson said to me that he doesn't rate Daniel Dubois as a puncher. But obviously, there's levels to this thing. You know what I mean? Daniel Dubois is not a world-class puncher. He can bang, people are around him, pump money in him. And now, Daniel Dubois is going to see how horrible this sport is. Because he's around, he was cocooned. They never know real people around him. It was cocooned around, man. Right? And when you're cocooned, you're doing your work, you're thinking, right, this is what it is. And I'm not gunning the Bowers. They're good people, yeah? But what they haven't been at that level. So you're at this level now. Joyce has been at that level. Joyce has been in an Olympic final. Olympic final, you got nearly 1 billion people around the world watching at that one particular time when you're fighting, when you fought Yonka in 2016. He hasn't done nothing to prepare himself for that. So these are the things that I'm looking on. And on top of this, and this is no disrespect, and like I'm just saying how it is. I was watching Dubois today on TV. I was watching a couple of his fights on YouTube, right? Me and my beautiful 2-year-old Rhea, right? And we're watching, and I said, and I phoned Tundi straight away. I said, Tundi, Daniel Dubois is limited, you know? Very limited. And the reason why he's very limited because he's been dependent on his punching power and not his skill. And this is the thing that hurt me because he's a nice kid. His family are very nice people. But he's being programmed just to be this boxer. You know what I mean? He hasn't got a social life. He hasn't got nothing. So everything's boxing. So the pressure is going to be very, very damning now because you did a cardinal sin in this fight. You wasn't getting battered. Your eye was swollen, but you weren't getting battered in the fight. And your eye gave out. You got hit with a jab and you went down from it and you quit. You weren't exhausted. This is not like April of 89 when Nigel Benn versus Michael Watson, and Nigel Benn put everything into those rounds till he was utterly exhausted, and he went down from a jab, right? Difference is this: you didn't give it all. Where you said, "Well, you know what? You gave your all, so yeah, you didn't give it your all at all." I'm just gonna be real. You didn't say, "Right, then I'm gonna bite on my gum shit. I'm gonna throw everything at you," and then you know what? I ain't got nothing else. You got. It was a close fight, but the upper hand was always going to Joyce. So give Joyce all the credit in the world. And I'm going to be real for this as well. I'm going to see this being very, very difficult for Daniel Dubois to come back from this. Remember, I'm telling you, I see it very hard for him to come back from this because I don't believe that he's got the right support system around him to come back from this. I've said it. I don't care who wants to think I'm offending them. I'm telling you, this is my gut feeling. I know this game. This game is a very unforgiving sport, right? Especially for a guy who's not charismatic, who ain't bringing nothing else to the table, right? And now we're gonna realize, you know what I mean? Are you a piece of meat that's being prepared and seasoned to be cooked? Or are you just a piece of meat that you're just gonna be swallowed up and spat back out?
Frank Warren, he did say that it's not over for the loser, that he did James DeGale versus George Groves at the O2 many years ago, and said
James
that
DeGale and George Groves didn't quit. Neither of them quitted in that fight. No one ever got knocked out in that fight. No one didn't even get knocked down in that fight. It was a close fight, and people could still argue that who should have won that fight and blah, 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 even though George Groves got the decision. But in this, you quit. Not like you got knocked out. You gave it everything. You was tired. You got knocked out. No, you quit, bro.
Is there an argument to say that Dubois had the eye problem probably from what, the third or fourth round? Is there an argument to say that he did try and box on for as long as he could before the conclusion of the fight?
I'm going to go to John the Beast Mugabe versus Dwayne Thomas. I think that was 87 for the WBC light middleweight championship of the world. Right? And what happened in that fight was that Thomas thumbed the Beast Mugabe in the eye. And the Beast Mugabe turned around. This is the big John the Beast Mugabe, you know, gave a incredible performance against Marvin Hagler. He turns around and then Bobbitt throws shots downstairs to his body and they stop the fight. I think it was early as well. I think it's like round 3 or 4. Can't remember, but it's early. And John the Beast Mugabe said, oh, he told me in my eye. He told me in my eye, right? Because he couldn't see out one eye. And Mike Tyson said, I hate this man because he had the other eye to see out. Great fighters don't quit. And that's that. There's only one guy that can say, I'll take hell with it and get away with it because he's one of the most really greatest fighters of all time. One of the greatest fighters of all time is Roberto Andrade in his 1980 fight with Sugar Ray Leonard when he said, I'll take hell with this. But that's more because he never really trained for that fight, right? Roberto Andrade can get away with that because Roberto Andrade's a bad man, right? But your eye was swollen. I've seen guys fight with grotesque swellings to the eye and continue going on until the referee stops it. But you don't quit, man.
Is there any comparison?
Winners don't quit and quitters never win, they say, right? And that's the truth.
Any comparison between Errol Spence Jr. and Kell Brook in this fight with Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois?
No, because Daniel Dubois prior to it didn't fight, most notably one of the pound for pound number ones who was 2 weights above him and bashed the shit out of him. Then he went, so there's no comparison. Because the fight was actually beaten out of Kell Brook versus Errol Spence in a fight which was kind of close up to the middle stages, and then Errol Spence had to pull away, right? Errol Spence, by his own admission, said Kell Brook's one of the strongest people on the planet. Kell Brook is fantastically strong, right? But in this here, there is no comparison whatsoever because he was in the fight. The fight was kind of even. I don't know how you scored it. The fight was kind of even. But the upper hand, as far as I'm concerned, with the boxing technicalities and the boxing prowess was more for Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce did that. So I've got to congratulate Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for Sam Jones to ring me and say, how did I know this guy? Me and Sam spoke a few days ago, the manager of Joe Joyce. And I was saying I could see this fight going points, but I could also see Joe stopping him late, very late. But the thing about it is this. Everybody's saying, oh, if Daniel Dubois does lose, he can come back again. He can come back again because it's too early for him. It's too early for him. Everyone's talking about it's too early for him. Too early for him. No, he's not going to come back. I'm telling you this now. Mark my words. Daniel Dubois is done.
Wow. Okay, Spencer, just to kind of conclude, Joe Joyce, how does he fare against the top boys at heavyweight on world level?
We don't know because we got to be real. None of those world level guys ain't Daniel Dubois, who's an untested little young gun, right? who had all the, he just looked the part, he didn't sound the part, no disrespect, right? He didn't sound the part. He was it was like 1980s again, like he was Bruno Mark II. Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth. I'm telling you how it is, and that's that.
All right, man. You got to thank Spencer for his time, post-fight analysis, the knowledge every single time, man. Pushing the button.
Man. We do what we do. Big up Pro Beez. Big up Pep Talk, because you guys are the real ones. Peace, 2 fingers, I'm out.
Spencer Fearon, thank you. Pep Talk, subscribe. Thank you.